Ever wondered what RAM actually does in your computer? Is more RAM really better? In this video, I'll break it down in simple terms, and by the end, you'll know exactly why RAM matters. Hey, I run a tech channel. We make learning tech easy and fun. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more easy tech explainers. Okay, first up, what actually is RAM? Well, RAM stands for Random Access Memory, and it's basically your computer's short-term memory. So here's how it works. Any apps or files that you're actively using, your PC loads them up into RAM so that they can be accessed instantly without any delay. That way you can switch between tasks smoothly without your computer freezing or lagging. Think of RAM like your work desk and your hard drive like a filing cabinet. All your programs and files stored on your hard drive are like important documents. When you need to use them, you move them from the filing cabinet onto your desk so you can work on them. The more RAM you have, the bigger your desk so you can keep more programs and files on your desk at once without getting cluttered. And that means you can work on more things at once without any delays. But what if you try to use too many files and your desk just can't fit them all? Some items will have to get moved back to the filing cabinet. But unlike your filing cabinet, which is nice and organized, your RAM is pretty jumbled. Whenever your computer needs to access a file in RAM, it has to search around randomly for it. And that takes time, which slows your computer down. That's where having more RAM really helps. The more RAM you have, the less often you'll have to resort to using your hard drive, which is much slower. When you're doing simple tasks like typing up a document or browsing the web, you don't need much RAM, but if you want to run lots of programs at once, you'll need more RAM. Here's a few examples. If you want to play games, you'll need RAM to store the game and all its graphics. Otherwise, it won't run smoothly. If you want to edit a video or photos, you'll need RAM to store the image and video data. If you want to browse the web with lots of tabs open, you'll need RAM to store all those web pages and images. By the way, running out of RAM doesn't just make your computer slow. It can also cause programs to crash because your computer can't find the files it needs. Now that you understand how RAM works, you might be wondering, is RAM permanent? Will it hold my stuff when I shut down my computer? Well, nope. RAM is temporary. When you shut down your computer or close the lid of your laptop, everything in RAM is cleared. It only holds data while your system is on. So now that you're a RAM expert, you probably want to know how much RAM you should get. It really depends on what you plan to do with your computer. Here's a few quick tips to get you started. If you're a light user who mostly browses the web, checks email, and maybe does some word processing, 4 GB should be enough. If you do a bit more, like maybe some photo editing or want to run a few programs at once, you'll probably want at least 8 GB. If you play games or do video editing, you'll probably want 16 GB. And if you're a power user, maybe a developer or a creator, you might want even more. Okay, we made it. If you learned something new, hit the like button. So I know to make more of these helpful videos. Also, drop me a comment so I can answer your questions. Of course, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on our awesome tech explainers. Thanks for watching. I'm from a tech channel. We make learning tech easy and fun. Thanks for watching. See you next time.